Okay, before we go into Fred Hammond, I gotta ask. You are from Michigan. Um, he's from Michigan. Did you guys know each other? And I don't want you to just breeze through this because somebody's listening to this and they're aspiring to be the next you, or they're aspiring to be the next star out there. How does a young Marvin Sapp even get on the radar? Because Fred Hammond at that time was Fred Hammond.
Yeah,
How do you get on his radar?
they was Grammy nominated when I met them. It's strange, man. This is crazy. Okay, so like the first concert that the group commission had ever done when they became a group, they did it at my home church in Grand Rapids. So they came and did a concert at my home church in Grand Rapids. I was 15 years old and I opened up for them, right? So but they were recording, they started recording, and I was a fan, man. I mean, like, I was a commission fanatic. No, all the records On the Winning Side, Ordinary Just Won't Do, State of Mind, you name them. I was like a commission fan. So, because we were in the same church organization, I didn't know them, nor they didn't know me, but they saw me. So, out the blue, Fred picks up the phone, calls my pastor, and asks my pastor for my number. And my pastor gave him my number, and Fred called me and said, Marvin, listen. First he called me and said, hello. I said, hello. He said, this is Fred Hammond. I said, who? He said, Fred Hammond. I said, you lying. He said, no, it's really Fred Hammond. I said, okay, give me your number. Let me call you back. He gave me his number. I called him back. And he told me, he said, there's a possibility that there's a group that may need a member because one of the members may be leaving. And he didn't tell me initially it was commission, but I knew it was. I felt like it was. Mm-hmm. And I told him, I said, man, this sounds great, but at that point I'm traveling as a preacher across the country. I'm doing revivals here, there, and everywhere, and have been doing it like successfully for a year. And I just told him, I said, well, man, I thank God that you guys called me about this opportunity, but every good idea ain't a God idea. And I want to make sure that this lines up with where, God is trying to bring me into and trying to take me to. So 2 months later, he told me it was commissioned. And every month, Fred would call me and we would pray. Every month, call me, we'd pray. And then 8 months into it, I packed my bags and I moved to Detroit, which is about 2.5 hours from Grand Rapids. And man, the rest is history because and we didn't know each other. I lived with him maybe a month when I first moved to Detroit. And then I went and got my own apartment, him and his wife and his daughter. And I tell people this all the time. I learned how to be a man with those guys. They're much older than I. They're all in their 60s, like 61, 62. And of course, I'm 55. And but they taught me how to be a man. They taught me what a real man's supposed to do as it pertains to his family. They taught me how to be a husband. Even while we were traveling, I never saw them have side chicks and side pieces and all that kind of stuff. That they were really, really serious about, maintaining a standard of integrity. And that helped me because I had never seen that. Growing up in a house again where there was no father, they weren't my fathers, but they were absolutely my mentors. So, I'm grateful, man, that Fred saw something in me that I didn't see in myself, gave me an opportunity to use their platform to be able to be where I am today. And I'm a very strong believer that you don't forget the bridge that brought you over. One of the things I've learned that we do is that we arrive and then we forget the people whose shoulders we had to stand on to get to where we got. And I never want to be that guy. I'm grateful to Fred, Mitchell, Carl, Michael Williams, Max Frank, Michael Brooks, Keith Staten, who left the group, which gave me an access into the group. I'm grateful for all of those guys, man, for being the forerunners that they were, to give me an opportunity to do what I needed to do and what I'm able to do now, happily.
So beautiful that you giving them their flowers. They deserve it.
Yeah.
For anybody who is not familiar with Commission, my God,
Oh
Commission
man.
was, yeah, especially at that time, they were so cutting edge and
God.
so edgy.
They was the R&B
They
gospel group. I mean, everybody that people listen to now, 112, Boys to Men,
tank,
Tank, everybody that y'all listening to now, Jesus, they all,
especially back in them days, the
yeah,
Jodeci, they stole so
Jodeci,
much of the melodies.
everything.
The
They took
melodies
our
that y'all
harmonies.
had and the harmony.
They
Yes.
took our harmonies, and a lot of people don't know that because again, Commission, we were doing edgy stuff, very edgy, and took a lot of heat from the church because we were singing songs like "Hold Me," "Safe in Your Arms," and like, who are they talking about? And we talk about Jesus holding us, and "I Am Here." Just straight R&B songs. I love thinking of you. I get joy when I think about. And they would listen to these songs like, who in the heck are they singing about? And we knew who we were singing about, but we just wanted to make sure that our music was relevant and relatable, man. And it was. It was edgy from the church standpoint because it was straight R&B. We were straight
Yes, it was.
R&B. And if you ain't heard Commission, go out and get some of that stuff. It's going to freak you out. Y'all be like, this gospel of the 90s, like, yeah, we didn't get our just due. But when you talk to people like 112, Tank, Jodeci, Boys to Men, they will tell you that a lot of the stuff that they do and the reason why they do what they do, the way they have done it, is because they heard us do it first.
Absolutely. I mean, you see commissioned influence in so many R&B artists, and you just named just a few. I mean, even as you're talking, I'm thinking of Tyrese and just so many others. Back in them days, it was Silk. It just was so many of them that you can tell they were fans of Commission. And they took them harmonies and they took the melodies and incorporated what y'all was doing into what they did. And all of them became very successful.
Extremely.
I want to go backwards for a second because you said something that I really loved. And this is for anybody who is, no matter where you're at in your life, be great where you're at. You just told the story. It's not like you were the nephew of Fred Hammond.
Oh,
You're
no.
not his younger brother. You literally were out there doing your thing, singing, blowing. They came to your church. You opened up for them at 15 years old. And because you were just being great right where you were at, when there was no fanfare, when there was nobody who was screaming your name, when there was nobody booking you for shows, who knew that one day this man who had seen you, heard about you, would say, we're looking for a new group. I need that kid. I need that guy who I saw. I don't even have a relationship with this man. That is such an important lesson that people need to understand, because everybody wants to wait until where they deem is the finish line or deem is the place that they're trying to go before they give it 110%. Do it now, because you don't know who's watching.
You don't know who's watching. You don't know who's paying attention. You don't know who has their eye on you. And again, I never imagined, man. I mean, like, I'm buying tickets to these dudes' concerts, right? I'm driving, me and my boy Derek, we driving to Detroit to hear him, Indianapolis, Chicago, listening to these dudes, knew all these songs and stuff. And then later on, the same group that I was a groupie of, I used to tell people the best, and I can say it like this, I said the best feeling ever is being a groupie in a group. That's the best feeling, that you sitting in the group and you looking at the guys that you grew up listening to and you saying, oh my God, I can't believe I'm standing up here with them. I wonder what they gonna sing. And the truth of the matter is, you know what they gonna sing. And then you start singing the songs with them and you begin to reflect on the moments that you heard those same songs and what they meant to you then. It was just, man, that was six of the best years of my life. It was. I mean, it's being with the group for 6 years. It was 6 of the best years of my life because it gave me an opportunity to grow, learn, reflect, as well as just, be a part of something that was just great. It was just it was great to be a part of something that had the level of impact that it had on the R&B group music, history and fanfare.
Absolutely.